All right, this is my third time doing this because I really want to keep this under 15 minutes. So, focus, Kelly. This is about writing business letters in block style, so format, and then also content. What are the basic content of your paragraphs? So let me get right to it. First of all, let's take a look at a business letter. You want to know what they look like. This is what it looks like. So this is the most basic form of a business letter. Notice here what we have is we have address and date, and then there's one line skipped. This is who it's to, so who's it being sent to, one line skipped. This is the greeting, dear so-and-so, skip one line. We're skipping one line. This is called a full block because notice over there it's all even. Here, leave that justification ragged, okay? Don't do the full justify. But here, instead of doing tabs, we're skipping a line to show here's the next paragraph. We've got our letter, and then of course skip a line, our sincerely, our closing. We've got space to sign it, and then our name typed out. So that's what it looks like, and that's what you want to make sure you have those parts with a letterhead. It may, you notice it's the same thing, but it's just changing where that address, that contact information is. It's still the date, who it's to, and then all of the rest of these components. So all of these components are required components. And let me pull up, wait, where's my list, and where's my, I want this one over here on the right. There we go. And where's my other, that one? There we go. So here's all our required components. Well, there are a couple of things to make sure. First of all, make sure the word template is wrong. It has bold in it. And I don't know why it has bold in it. I mentioned it to one of my colleagues who is in business, and that's what she does. And she was like, that's wrong. You don't put bold in letters. So she was just like freaked out. So make sure if you use a template, double check against what I'm telling you here, because I'm grading you against that. You want to single space all of it. So one of the last things you want to do is make sure you go in and you do, your paragraph. And I'm just in the home tab, I'm clicking on paragraph here. And under your spacing before and after, make sure you notice how that was like, that means when there's nothing, it means it's different. So I want 0, 0, single, and don't add space, okay? If I'm in Google Docs, I'm going to go to Format and Line Spacing, and I want to make sure it says add a space before, add after, because if it says add, that means there's not any. And you can see here there's not any, and when I put an extra line in there, notice it's just the height of the cursor. The same thing when we're in Word over here, you'll see it is just the height of the cursor right there, okay? So, so you want to make sure, that's one of the things you want to make sure you do, is fix that paragraph spacing. And here's what I just said about, your address, enter to skip a line. I'll put all of this in the description of the video. So this is what you want it to look like. Now, what happens in each of these paragraphs? In a basic business document letter, there's a number, it's pretty standard, okay? So you're going to have your greeting, Dear Professor Wood, Dear Miss Wood. I'm fine with either of those. Yes, in class, you just call me Kelly, but we're writing professionally. You're going to say, Dear Hiring Manager, Dear, if you know the person's name, give their name, okay? If you don't, you can put their position. If you don't know either one, you can put RE, that's for regarding, and a colon, and then, job, position, whatever, 456832, comma, senior vice president, okay, whatever it is. But in general, the best thing is the person's name. The second best thing is the position. If it's many people, their hiring committee, if you know you're interviewing with a lot of people. And then that RE for regarding, and whatever the topic is, just basic topic. You don't want that to start to be a paragraph. That needs to be 1, 2, 3 words, maybe 4, okay? And then you put a colon after that. Boom, boom, not a comma, colon. Your first paragraph is always, I am writing, who are you and what are you writing for, right? If they already know you, you don't need to say who you are. But Like your first letter to me, I don't really know you yet. So you're going to say, hi, my name's Kelly Wood, and I am writing, well, that's not mine. You put yours, okay. Dear Miss Wood, dear Professor Wood, I'm so and so in your, English 1301 class. I am writing to whatever, right? Now, the other thing you're going to do in my class is obviously you're going to read the instructions. That is very, very important, okay? So I tell you in the cover letter format assignment, and remember, those are all on the kelli.ninja 1301 page format assignments. So in this assignment, I tell you paragraph 1, do this. Paragraph 2, paragraph 3, what you need to talk about. In our essay, when we get to the essays, you'll have a cover letter for your essays. Here, paragraph 1, talk about this. Paragraph 2, talk about that. Paragraph 3, paragraph 4. So you want to make sure for our letters that you are following instructions. Here, whenever you write about just in general, if they don't know your name, like if I would write, my name is Kelly Wood and I'm writing to apply for this position. Because of this, and that, I think I'm the perfect fit for your company. What's your main point? That's my main point. I'm writing to complain about the service I've received on Monday, the 25th, when I walked into your store and one of your employees grabbed my iPad and slammed it to the ground. No, that's horrible. But complaint letter, right? What is it? Like, what is your complaint? I'm writing to let you know that I had some of the best service I've ever had. Your employees are super great. Cool, right? And so that first paragraph you can think about as your thesis, your main point. Get that in there, boom, 1 to 2 sentences. That's it. Don't go over that. That's what the rest of the letter's for. Then the stuff in the middle is going to be your explaining. I'm going to explain, how did this come about that an employee smashed the iPad to the ground? How is it that I think I am a good fit for this job? What makes me special? Not I listed everything on my resume. What's in a specific example I can give? What's some, so I can give, in this case, I can give examples, discussion, explanation, whatever it is. If the employees were great, what is it that specifically made them great? Not just they're great. I could send a postcard for that, okay? So I want to give details. And then you're going to have your closing paragraph. And it, like the others, is going to be 1 to 2 sentences. So again, we want this short and sweet. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me with this problem. I look forward to talking to you so we can solve it. Okay, not you suck and I'm never coming back. Maybe I'm never coming back. But if you really want somebody to answer, then, I know you value your business and the reputation it has. I look forward to taking care of this in a satisfactory manner for all of us. If you have any questions, please let me know. I look forward to sitting down with you in an interview as soon as possible. Whatever it is, that kind of thing. Again, it was just such great service. I had to take time out of my day to let you know that, kudos, whatever. So that last paragraph is again, it's just going to be real short, 1, 2, 3 sentences. When we look at our samples over here, you can see this one is really short, 2 sentences. That's actually 1 sentence. This one right here, that's a little longer. It's 2 sentences, maybe 3. This one, 1 sentence. I look forward to your feedback and hope I'm on the right path. That's all you've got to say. Thank you for taking time to read my letter. I hope to hear from you soon. It is complimentary close, but it is important. That first sentence that sets it up, what's this about, that close is important. That closing, if you don't put it in there, it's like sitting at somebody's house and talking to them and then just kind of getting up in the middle of a conversation and walking out. And not walking out mad or anything, just leaving, right? Leaving people hanging. Don't leave people hanging, okay? So there we go. That's what it looks like. Now, that if you do this, this is the plain, straightforward approach. And then you can see here Jessica has, made this a little fancy with her name, her address, her contact information. Notice it's a different font, that this is all one font in the letter, that kind of thing. So let me show you a couple of things about doing this for what we're doing. Come on. There we go. guess I can make the whole thing bigger, but I still want to look at a lot. I want it smaller to look at it. So if we have, one of the things is traditionally letters have always just had the address, just the physical address and the date. Now you may want to put in your, you know, phone number, and your, contact email, right? And that's acceptable. Make sure you do this date written out, not the slash dash date. That's too informal. Okay, this is a formal letter. But also notice that there's not a name here. So when you do it like this, now there's too many E's there. Okay, it's okay, Kelly. When you do it like this, just in that plain block format, it's just going to be real simple. Also, one of the things we're going to do is, if it's not kind of exactly in the middle, there's a bigger gap there, just going to scoot down. I just entered a couple of times. I'm just looking at it, eyeballing it. In Word, we've got the slider over here in the bottom right. If you're working in Microsoft Office or Google Docs, you can hold down Control. On your Mac, Command. I think that's the one that looks like a little flower. I don't know. And I'm scrolling up and I'm scrolling down, or you can hit the plus or the minus key on your laptop. Here I'm going back and resetting it so that you can look at and just really, you want to do that. What does the form of this thing look like? So you can do that visual. Is this centered or not? Okay. Because that's going to be the first thing that people see. So that's one thing, is you want to make sure it is centered on the page. And if you're just doing the plain one, it's as simple as doing that and making sure that, however it is, you've got approximately. I'm not going to get out a ruler and measure it. I don't have time for that. Okay, but eyeball it. It makes a difference. I mean, it really is. I call it the kiss of professionalism, because that looks okay, but this looks really nice. Okay. The one other thing you can do, though, is you can do that letterhead. Now, if you do a letterhead, a couple of things you want to do is, one, I would go ahead and put it in the header. So I just double clicked up there to get the header. And what am I going to do here? And there we go. I double clicked in Google. Pages, I'm not sure. Just ask the internet, right? Format. Oh, different. Look, there's different first page. I want to make sure that's checked. Here in Word, I'm going to notice different first page. Now here, I am going to put my name. So you're going to put, well, your name, right, because it's your letter. And I don't want to leave it just like that. If I'm going to do that, then don't do this, okay? So I want it to have a little bit of style. I mean, that's the whole point of a letterhead, is you can change font some. And come on, come back. Baby, come back. There we go. What I'm gonna do to center this is, I'm just space, 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 space. Oops. The minute it goes over like that, I'm gonna bring it back. Okay. And so same thing with the phone number one and the email. I'm just gonna do that. So you can do something kind of fun. Take my name, maybe center it, Control E, and then I can put a font here. Nothing. You don't want anything that is too, I mean, life is goofy. If it's a business letter, 28 days later, I've got like some Walking Dead font on here. You don't want to do anything crazy. If this is a business one, stay with something that kind of looks businessy. If you like, I'm not going to do like dead font walking. It's like, or something like this, Star Wars. So if you want to change your font, be thoughtful about it, though. Don't go with something crazy. Probably not going to do the Game of Thrones font, okay? That's kind of nice. Let's see. We'll do all of arr, arr. Growl like a pirate. That's an important part of the process. Let's see. Take this all up to, say, 12 there. Okay. Oh, these, I want to make sure. See, when I changed my font, it changed. Every font has a little bit different size. Okay, so, oops, back right there. And then this, I can crank up to, say about a 18, maybe a 20. I wouldn't go much more. Maybe I want it in italic. So, okay. And then I might even go down here to this bottom line and say, put a bottom border on it so that when I look at it, you can see it looks like that. And so there we go. We have a nice little letterhead. If you want to put it in a color, you can do that. Make sure when you are sending out an actual business, I like green, so I'll put it in green, okay? Um, Letter that if you do it in color, do it in something that would print in black and white well. If, say, a boss's secretary, administrative assistant is printing out letters and resumes for the boss to go through, then the boss is going through them, when she looks at them, if she can't read something and there's somebody equally as good, really, that's probably who's going to be chosen for the interview. So you want to make sure that it would print in black and white just as well as it would in color, that it's even readable, even in this header. And so, of course, when I save it as a PDF, it'll do that. There's one other thing I want to show you about headers. So if we have, let's say, for some reason, I wrote paragraphs that were a little bit longer, okay, you want to keep these, I mean, like I said, you don't want them to be too long either, okay? Now notice here, my sincerely, I'd sign here, went over onto one page. Do not leave that all on one page alone. In that case, I'd go ahead and do enter and make sure at least this last paragraph is with it. And then I wouldn't center it up on the page, okay? And here I'd already put in the page number. Since I told it different first page, oh, now it erased my header. But anyway, oh, there it is. Okay. I already had that in there. And I can do something, when I did the insert the head page number, I clicked one that, was a little fancier, right? So you can do that, but I'm just going to have the page number, and I don't need to have page 1 on the front. That's it, page 2. But I'm going to make sure it's not just that closing alone, okay? The other thing is, and then I don't have to worry about centering it, okay? Just the way business letters are done, okay? And then there was one other thing. I spaced on it. Oh, remember in this class you're supposed to sign. So when you sign a letter, one of the reasons you sign a letter is that is showing that it is actually you. And, it's verification it's you. When it comes from your email, that's you. Yeah, people can hack your email, but, your email, right? So the verification it's you. So it's really important to sign letters. If you don't sign letters, minus 20 on them. And I'll send them back to you and we get to revise. But, actually most of them, this first one we don't. So make sure that you sign it. If you have touchscreen and you can sign, cool, go ahead and do that. If you don't have a touchscreen and you can't sign, then just put in brackets in between, I sign here, okay? That way I know that you know, because I just want you to be doing something physical, whether it is actually signing it or, with touchscreen or putting I'd sign here. You don't need to print it out and take a picture and this and that. No, you don't need to do that. For one, I need it in doc format so I can give you feedback easier. But I just want you remembering that because that is really important in business, that you actually sign your letters, whether they're digital or print, either way. So if it's digital, you figure out, I have a copy of my signature that I did on white paper, went outside, took a nice picture, finally had to do it 2 or 3 times to get the color right and everything. But it's really important you do that. So make sure and sign. So there we go. There's your basic format, what it should look like. Again, this is the most basic one, and you notice here, right? Here, there's Ismail's signature, okay? Here, Jessica's. Don't just do yours in a font, like a signature font. I want you to actually show me. You can do the letterhead or not. If you do the letterhead and you do have it just on one page, which your cover letters for your essays should be one page. Your first letter for the format assignment may not be, but if you have that header and you just have one page, after the date, I mean, that's where from the date down, that's where you'd make sure it's centered on the page, okay? Again, as we go through these, make sure you're reading the instructions, okay, so that you do what needs to be done in each paragraph, that kind of thing. And then always, oh, last things, when you, not Excel, I don't need that, no, go away. When you proofread, review those instructions, review your grammar, mechanics, and writing, and then that visually, what does it look like? So let's see if I did any better. Either way, I'm going to call this one done and wrap it up and get it uploading. So let me know if you have questions, and happy writing.